stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. We have any public comments? Oh, shoot. All right. Meeting called to order.
Second.
All right. Okay. Public comments part of the meeting.
I wanted to ask a couple of questions on number 6, D, the Connors Group contract. What is that for?
Yeah.
So the Connors Group, this is a non-site vendor that we bring in. We work at the middle school specifically on DASA training.
All three
Oh,
buildings.
okay. So all 3 buildings on DASA training for faculty, staff, and students. Also work on other mental health related issues.
How long is the contract for, give or take?
So the contract is for this school year with a maximum amount of $3,000. It's $1,500 for each semester.
Okay. I have another question on number 8, A, on the surplus buses. Why is that rescinded and then awarded to another company?
Sure, I can answer that. So the bids were opened and the highest bid later called back after it was board approved and withdrew their bid.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure. I think that they either mixed up the number that they meant to bid on. We all recognized it was a very high number compared to what we'd opened in the past.
Right.
So we then were about to award to the second bidder, and they had bought other buses in another location, so now we're awarding to the third bidder.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is within the range of what we normally sell our buses for.
Okay. And B, on that same number 8, the external audit. Is there, do you have a copy of that corrective action
Sure
plan?
do.
Great.
You're welcome to do that.
Okay. Appreciate it.
If you have any questions, you can give me a ring.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comments? Okay, acceptance of reports. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approves and acknowledges reviewing the following reports. Treasurer's reports, one second, move this along. Treasury reports, budget status and revenue status. Treasurer's report. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Treasury report, general fund, September 2017, school lunch fund, special aid fund, capital fund. Board of Education meeting minutes, September 9th. And October 3rd, 2017. C, attendance and enrollment period 1/9/17 to 9/29/17, and extracurricular activity accounts.
Move it.
Sue, second one. Any discussion on this?
I have a few just small corrections before the minutes, but I'll come.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? 4 seconds. Okay. Curriculum and instruction. Principals monthly reports.
Hi, Joel had an event at his daughter's school tonight, so I'm here to answer any questions you might have on his principal report. I do have a few additions that I'd like to share with you. This week, the Transportation Department has provided some school bus assemblies for K-5, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. They're providing instruction on bus safety as far as getting on and off the bus safely and how to ride to and from school safely. So we appreciate the Transportation Department offering instruction to our students on their behalf. Some of the couple of things that I've been working on, I'm very excited about this coming weekend, Saturday. A team of 10 teachers and myself are headed to Columbia University to their Teachers College. They have a reunion twice a year. It's a fun, packed day of free workshops that I'm very excited about attending. So we're leaving the elementary school at 6:30. We're looking to get back at the elementary school about 5:30 p.m. So it's going to be an exhausting day, but I'm very excited to be a part of that. Additionally, this year I put together a newsletter. It's a home and school connection newsletter to improve communication to parents from the elementary school, just to let them know what's happening, things to watch for, dates to mark on their calendars. So that's been very exciting. It goes home in every backpack. It's available on the Highland website, and it's also available on the Highland Facebook page as well. And additionally, last month, or actually this month, I had it translated to Spanish, so it is giving the opportunity for Spanish-speaking families to also hear about all the great things that are happening at the elementary school. So we're very excited about that as well. Any questions?
I had a question about the main office. So it sounds very exciting, like you're going to be moving in within the next few weeks.
We're hoping.
And is that planned to be a final move, or are you going to move in and there's still going to be work going around?
Well, we kind of held off on moving until it was complete because it seemed like a good idea so that all of those punch list items get taken care of before we moved in, because we didn't want to move in and then have them crawl all over us.
I didn't want that either, that's
Right.
why I'm asking. Good.
We're waiting
Good for
on
you.
locks right now so that it's secure, so we don't have that yet, and some blinds for the windows
How
so
about
that
this,
that's secure as well.
this glass that we keep hearing about? Has the glass been installed?
The glass is in, so the
Oh, I
storefront
can
is
get down
in.
there.
So it's just a matter of a couple of little things, so we're hoping soon. 7 months in, we're ready. We're ready to go.
The computer lab, so you got some furniture.
Yes.
What percentage would you say that space is complete?
It looks complete. I mean, we're working off of laptops, and I had teachers working in there today. We had a full day workshops for Teachers College professional development, so they were utilizing that space all day, looking up with special ed teachers in there, looking up IEPs, setting goals, teacher college goals. So it's
Furniture, air conditioning, paint, the room,
It's
looks
done.
finished.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, great.
I think the only thing there might be something with the projector. I don't know the details on that.
Okay.
That's right, I think the 2 screens we've talked about on each wall, I don't think those are in yet.
Okay.
Other than
I was
that,
just
it's
curious.
functional.
It's very exciting to see
Yeah,
it
it's
finally
exciting.
be used and
Yes,
get
yes,
occupied.
we're in it, and the schedule's full every day.
I'm sure. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Question.
Yeah.
The other day when I stopped in, I met with Joel and yourself
Mhm.
and talked about some design issues within the central, the main office
Yeah.
there. And have you had an opportunity to spend any furniture moved in?
The only thing, because we didn't want to move in before we were ready to, we did move Joel's monstrosity desk in there today, just to get a sense of what it would be like in that space, to see if it's going to work in that space. But other than that, we're not in. We had a couple of cabinets moved in, but we're in and out checking the progress regularly, so really no movement there.
Unfortunately, there was a little design issue
Mhm.
in the office where there was a wall separating the front part of the office from Joel's office, I believe, right?
Yes.
And there's a potential for some sound to go from one area to the other. And we're hoping that once the room gets furnished and it gets a lot of the things in there, that there might be a level of sound absorption that absence. We're talking about confidentiality, that
Right.
sort of thing.
Just communication either on the phone or with parents or students. We're worried that the outside office and the community walking in and out of that might overhear things that they shouldn't be hearing. So we'll know more once we're in, and we can get a sense of if the furniture does absorb some of the sound, and we'll have to kind of see how that works. Don't really know yet.
Empty house syndrome when walk into an empty house. It
That's
echoes.
right, it echoes and
So
The
is there
sound
a wall
travels.
that was not put there that was supposed to?
No, the wall's put there, but it ends on a window. It's kind of a funky thing there, and there's ways to sound absorb that, but it's just
Like
a,
this?
very similar to
So,
that.
okay.
Right.
But this here has there's no transition to the
I see what
window,
you're saying.
so it's open.
Yep.
So again, it could be confidentiality issues.
Right.
I guess we just have to,
we'll have to wait and see. Yep,
or wait and hear, right?
that's right.
Was
That's
it,
right.
was it put as,
Well, yeah.
was it put as designed?
It just is the way the wall lined up there. If it was realized.
But they're put in places where it was drawn on the plan, so to speak.
Yeah, kind of, but,
I think they followed the plans, they were just a little
Okay.
wonky.
I mean, it wouldn't be the
The way
first time you
that-
have to
right.
revisit a space.
That's right.
A few inches off here or there pushes everything down the row, and then all of a sudden, what was supposed to line up here, lines up here, and could be an issue, but it might not.
Right.
So,
Thanks for coming down.
now we're all aware of it, so
That's
that's
right.
good. That's a good thing. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. Couple pieces, one of the pieces, thank you. One of the, on our calendar, the Headless Horseman is coming in again to do the Don't Be a Monster presentation. This is the 4th year in a row that they've done it for, in this year's 6th and 7th grade. They don't charge us. They come in and do this. And it's really fantastic. They bring one of their characters in a full dress monster, and it's a really great presentation for on bullying. So they should get kudos for that. So it's a really great presentation. Also, the thinking project stuff is being scored right now. I think Jody's almost finished putting it in a spreadsheet for us, and we'll be compiling that, looking at it, and starting our conversations about how to improve student writing and thinking through all of that. We're really excited to do that in this fashion, 2nd year in a row. And it will also be one of the data points that we use in our after-school academy, which the posting for teachers which was part of the lab, if you remember the lab presentation. That posting will be up for teachers in a couple days. So we'll start getting that. We're really excited all these things are coming together. And the really interesting part is, and we have a consultant that comes in to work with our staff through the lab as well, and you all know who she is, she's worked with us for years. The conversations that are going on educationally are so powerful right now with all these pieces coming together at the same time, and all the direction of getting everybody going and rowing in the same direction at one time. It's really powerful. It's really great to see it and hear it happen with all the effort that's gone into that over the years. It's fantastic. So we're hoping for really great results from that after school academy and from the whole project as we go through. So any questions? Any questions about our main office? Just kidding. We're hopefully doors will be on very shortly on our. It's hard to hold a meeting without a door in your office, but hopefully they'll be on any day.
Is your glass in as well? Because I remember that was a real particular piece that's going up against that wall.
No, it's not in yet. It should be. I think I was told before the end of the month. I think I've had trouble keeping track of when this stuff comes and they do it, and they've been working after school every night. You're watching more and more stuff get
Won't be able to
accomplished.
stop the trick-or-treaters from coming in the window.
Right now you can't stop the cold from coming in.
Well said.
But okay, it's moving well. It's progressing very well. We're very happy with it. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. On Friday, we had pep rally in high school, and I do want to say that I think that it went off flawlessly. It was entertaining for all present. As a matter of fact, I received pictures from Christine Paluzzi on my cell phone later that afternoon, and it looked, I'm really going to say this, Bill, looked a little too tame. But kids, I think all students had a really great time. faculty won the tug of war, so I don't know if anybody's eligible for their tug of war scholarships now, since they competed against faculty and staff of the high school, but it was a great event. Today, a team attended another edition here, the Bridging Cultural Divide Conference at Mount St. Mary College. Josh Tatum, Steve Masson, Daniel Garcia, Shannon Ramirez, Carol Potash, and Lindsay Piasecki, as well as myself. And it was a great opportunity to think and to hear about how we're treating our L students, English language learners, our students who are bilingual, our students who have a different cultural lens, perhaps are native born, not documented, or they have parents who aren't documented or with papers, but are here, students in the Hudson Valley. So it's a great opportunity to think about that. And I would encourage anybody to check out Dr. Christopher Emden. He was somebody that Dr. Corey brought in this summer for the leadership conference at SUNY New Paltz in late June for basically the JMT at BOCES. And he was there again today at Mount St. Mary for a keynote for all of us. In November, I will have a report prepared for all of you on our college enrollment. We have 15 courses at SUNY New Paltz, 15 at SUNY Ulster, and 3 at SUNY New Paltz. And I just want to give you a full picture of how many of our students are actually involved in those classes. It's over 200 students annually. So I believe the registration period ended October 12th. So once we have that all compiled, we'll get that to you. Bill, do you want to add anything?
Very briefly, I think Dean will talk about the homecoming weekend, but successful and well-attended homecoming dance on Saturday night from 7 to 10, and we had roughly 275 students attend. So it was very well attended.
Sorry, I sat down. Any questions? We're also hosting a senior goodbye soccer game on the field.
Are you seeing an increase in admissions for Ulster Community College or Dutchess because of the free tuition program? Are you seeing any notable change, or is it too soon to tell?
The feedback that I'm receiving and talking to Matt Green and the other two people who, Lucia Pecora and Jamal Simmons, who work for Ulster Community College, it is increasing. Interestingly enough, and this isn't what you asked, but I believe we ran into, or they made themselves known to us, 5 former Highland students while we were at Mount St. Mary today that came into the conference to say hello to us. So that was kind of interesting too, just who's enrolling where regionally. But yes, I do believe that the enrollment at Ulster has shifted. It was traditional that students would enroll at Dutchess, but we have more students that are taking the opportunity to just use the credits that they've accrued right there at the Ulster campus. And more specifically, the top 10% of the student body in Ulster County has access to, through the Community Foundation of Ulster County, the free tuition at Ulster Community College. That is generally not something our students are heading towards. But the students who are able to pay the $5 per credit, it's 5 now, used to be 1, here on our campus, are really getting a great opportunity, and they are enrolling in the courses and taking the opportunity. So I feel great that it's an opportunity that's expanded over the last 8 years for our students. I do believe that a higher volume of students at Highland are getting into colleges of their choice, and competitive colleges at that, and transferring just tens of credits into the programs that they choose. Thanks.
I think it's a question more than, a comment more than it is a question. But I'm just curious on, over the course of the year, what do your teachers at your respective buildings want out of technology? I see these reports, and we also know that of the award here in Highland, the Smarter Schools Bond money, we understand 50% we put towards capital investment in safety and security, cameras, access control, and that kind of thing. But I haven't heard, and I'd like to hear, the discussions at the building level with what do you want with regard to instructional technology? What is your vision? Unless you're there and you have everything you need, Or are you looking at a one-to-one device? Is that something you'd like to see in your buildings, Mr. Zimmer? Or what do you want to see in your middle school? And I'll tell you why it's important to frame those conversations sooner rather than later. Because once you do add components like access control and cameras, they're not going to wire up everything. And they're probably not going to wire up every door. Maybe, but probably not. And the gravity of those facility needs may overshadow with the remaining monies what you might want to see in instructional technology. So I know we've got different devices that people have access to and there's cards and stuff. But honestly, when I'm looking at the high school report here, and you've got 552 kids in the building. The money that remains at smarter schools could get every one of those students a device. Chromebook, iPad, it really doesn't matter. Where is your vision? Because I think that's important. I think if you talk to college-bound students, we could even talk to our own student rep. That's the kind of environment we know that they're going into. So how are we preparing them for that? What's the middle school's vision when it comes to instructional technology? What's the high school's vision when it comes to instructional technology? And yes, elementary school, but yours is usually around learning centers and a fixed facility. Not that there isn't needs down there, though. So,
Well, I will say, Mike, that we have been having that conversation with Carol and with the building leaders, and our hope, and I know we had talked about this last year, was to come to the board in a retreat type setting and have that conversation as a whole group so that you can more fully understand what our thoughts are as we're moving from K, or from elementary to middle to high school, and how to make that cohesive. So it definitely is a topic
I
of
definitely
conversation.
want to hear about
Absolutely.
that. There are also other stakeholder groups and parents and students that we want to give voice to. But I'll start with any discussion in that topic whenever you're ready to bring it. So I appreciate that.
Mike, I just have one comment, and then if Bill wants to talk about this. As you know, the technologies just keep shifting and changing at a pace that we really can't even understand. Google coming out with earphones that are going to translate 40 languages for us on the go, has the potential to completely change the way we address our ELL population, the way they can address the school community, and perhaps the way in which we're going to teach foreign language instruction. But so the Smart Schools money being for stuff, as we heard last week at the, or was it Monday? Being for stuff and not for portals is difficult for me to answer, because I think a lot of our teachers at the high school, for example, are using Schoology and other web-based portals. They would want subscriptions, they would want online components, online information. So those are kind of the early adopters or the innovators. So there's a range at the high school level, all the way to the people who are still looking to use their first laptop card. I don't know if that goes, but there's a range.
But the kids are prepared to use a device.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
willingness or preparation of the staff should not impede what we know what we're preparing students for. So, I know there's a lot of discussion to be had. I have a lot of opinions on that matter, as we all do. I just don't want to see that opportunity, escape you. And it would be great to have every door wired with access control and every degree covered by a security camera, which is what may happen if we don't have an instructional voice for that money. Thank you.
Director of Instructional Data and Assessment, Jody.
In my report, I gave you the beds numbers, the official numbers for the year. So I hope that's useful to you when I give you those numbers. Nothing's really changed. I do want to tell you that last week I attended the day tag conference and I presented on John Hattie and the effect sizes, achievement effect sizes. And we had a keynote, the assistant comptroller from New York State presented on the computer audits and the technological audits that they've been doing in the schools.
and sent us back with a lot of information, so they gave us books and lots of copies of PowerPoint, so there's a lot of information there. It was pretty overwhelming, actually, and it's worrisome for the future for technology and the things that are going on with people sending on these bots and stuff. So anyway, he's got a really busy job ahead of him. And then today I went to the district data coordinator meeting at the RIC, and we learned all the updates for what's going on as far as uploading data and everything. And that's pretty much all I have for you, unless you have any questions.
Thank you. Okay, Director of Pupil Personnel Services. Patrick?
At a meeting on Friday at the county level, our regional associate was telling us about students that were displaced by the hurricanes in our country. And they have I'll call it a prediction out of state that is kind of looking at where some of these students might end up. So I'm waiting to get the figures on how that could possibly affect us on some of the students that may be getting, or maybe moving here as a result of the hurricanes. We have our special ed cabinet. I've been starting to get, I'll call them applications for teachers that are interested. Just speaking with teachers in the hallway, there's a lot of interest in that and trying to improve our vertical alignment for our special ed services and improving our transitions between the buildings. Questions?
I did notice in this year, there was a large uptick from grade 8 to grade 9 in the students with disabilities. Is it increasing classification or?
Some of the students that are grouped into that are technically 10th graders, but not credit-wise. So technically they're 9th graders, but they were in the second year of their high school career. So they might be considered 9th grade. So that's why you might see an increase in that. So if they don't get the certain amount of credits to make them considered a 10th grader, it shows that they're a 9th grader. And we also did have a big class where
It is, it's just,
We got a little spike in the data there
Yeah.
on last year's 9th grade.
I always love this chart.
Here's, you got that? Yeah, it's a good
I would say just good job overall, looking at changes to make with the department to make sure that we are, operating most effectively. Good job of you.
yeah, the teachers are really excited about it. I mean, I know I was very excited about it, but just having the conversations after I sent it out, I've gotten a lot of great feedback about it.
Good. No?
Good. Good. Thank you. Okay, approval of Committee on Special Education minutes. Be resolved that the Board of Education hereby accepts the recommendations of the Committee on Special Education according to the minutes of the CSE meetings of August 7th. And, I guess, and the CSE amendment agreement. August 29th, 28th, and the month of September 7th, 8th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 18th, 22nd, 28th, and the month of October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Is that for just special ed or both? D and E, is that just for D? Thank you. Okay.
It's just for D.
Motion by Mike, seconded by Sue.
Sue. Approval of Committee on Preschool Special. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of Committee on Preschool Special Education. Be resolved that the Board of Education hereby accepts the recommendations of the Committee on Preschool Special Education according to the minutes of the CPSE meetings of July 24th, along with the month of August, and that would be August 2nd. CPSE, no meeting, transfer in August 2nd. There is no CPSE meeting, amendments to report. So, I have a motion.
Motion.
Mike? Sue? Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, personnel, right? Okay. Personnel, does anybody have a problem with moving C to the front? We'll speak.
One, on A, the resignation, that is a resignation for peer mediation, not peer leadership. Okay?
Okay, so pull C out and read C first. You okay with that? Okay. These are going to be tenure recommendations. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent, approves the following employees for tenure appointment. Michelle McGrath, teaching assistant, effective 10/24/2017, and Bill Zimmer, assistant principal, effective November 10th, 2017. Motion.
Second.
Motion by Sue, second by Ted. Any comments, anything?
Do we have anybody speak?
Is-
Yeah. Yes, so,
Sure.
Mr. Harris will make some comments.
Sure.
Okay.
First, Bill, I remember being at a principals meeting 3 years ago, and Barbara Clinton from New Paltz said, hey everyone, if you're looking for an administrator and you know Bill Zimmer, you might want to consider reaching out to him, which I think I did just about instantaneously. Bill was working on Long Island as an assistant superintendent essentially, but a curriculum associate.
Exactly.
And Bill and I had taken some courses together at SUNY New Paltz, probably maybe 4, maybe 5, something like that. So I knew what Bill had to offer. And he was worth the wait, especially at that time, which we had to wait for him to be released from his district, and that's why he came the second week of November to us. So it was an interesting start to the year, anticipating that Bill would be joining the team. When Bill first spoke to me, what he had to say was he just wanted to be back working closer with kids, and he was really working with English teachers and curriculum. I think that any student that we talk to will tell you that Bill is garrulous, quick to laugh, quick to make them laugh, very welcoming, and truly just a supporter of students each and every day. He does the same for faculty as well. So, Bill, congratulations and thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
So, of course, it's been an interesting transition for me the last, many weeks. Now I'm trying to prepare Bill to be without me when I was preparing to be with him just a few years ago. So, ironic, and it's been great working with him. Michelle McGrath, a great addition to the high school staff. Resources are not plentiful when it comes to support staff at the high school level. And so we're so fortunate that we have really great people in key positions, and they know who they are in this room as well, and there are a few others. But Michelle has really helped to round out. She offers support and help in any way that she can beyond her actual role, which is to be a TA within the building. She keeps the Learning Center, which is used for in-school suspension and testing area, in very specific and predictable order for each and every one of us. We never have to worry about things coming out of that room. We send things in and they're managed, they're taken care of, whether that's an accommodation or just organizing anything specific that we might ask of Michelle. And she is always willing to step up and extends offers to us each and every time that she has the opportunity to cover an office, to cover any kind of prep or anything that we have going on. She's highly competent, and it's going to be really helpful to the staff here for years to come. So Michelle, thank you very much for all you do.
just like to comment, I do want to thank Michelle and Bill and congratulate you. You know, we're in the education business, but really, we're in the people business. And it's all about what makes a school, is the faculty and the staff and how they deal with our students. And just from the short time I've been here, certainly I've seen that across the board, and I know I'm sure I can speak for Board of Education, that no board takes lightly granting tenure. It's a big thing that they do look at carefully. So the fact that you're being recommended for tenure and enrollment approved for tenure speaks a lot for the hard work and dedication that you've given to our district. Thank you.
Here, here.
For the rest of the personnel appointments, it'll be, personnel items will be A through D.
Did we vote that through? Let's complete that. vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion.
So you separate that out.
Yeah, motion. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
We're very fortunate to have you part of our team. Thank you.
Now, with for the rest of the personnel items, which will be A through B and D through G. We'll get to read that. Okay. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent, approves the following. Yeah, no,
We just put as presented, A, B.
yeah, A, B, D, E, F, and G. Can I have a motion? Motion by Sue, second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Dean, you're up.
Good evening. Some previous events that have happened through our school districts is we've had 2 bio trips, one from the 8th grade biology class. They went down to the Highland Landing Park and did their class experiments where they put waders on and go in the Hudson River with multiple other fun activities. That is a great field trip for our 8th grade biology class. In addition, the high school AP biology and AP psychology class went on a bio trip to Ridgewood High School, which is a cancer and genetics conference, to discuss some new research. And there's this man, I forget his name, but he discusses new research in cancer, and he's very forward thinking of how what's up and coming and what's the new ways to solve it, if it's like growing a heart genetically through cells. It's a very interesting full day conference that is cool to offer to our students.
What grade does that? Sorry.
The AP biology class and then Miss Moseman with her AP psychology class usually will tag along.
That's great experience.
I think that she's Dr. Sam Ron, is the gentleman's name.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was, I've been to it twice because I took AP bio and AP psychology. So. Also, we had the pep rally, and I would like to thank our student council and especially Ms. Grayback for her work on creating and forming and getting ready for the pep rally that we had last Friday. It's no easy task, but she does it every year seamlessly and gets all the teachers on board, and that's very appreciated by the students. In addition, the pep rally was a success, although the seniors lost to the freshmen and everybody else. we had a good time, and the positive attitudes and the cheering, and it was great to see students having fun with just being there together in a group and enjoying each other's excitement together. The homecoming game was also a good night. The PTSA had their concession stands. So that was another successful night for our school. And then again, like Mr. Zimmer said, the homecoming dance was also a really great night. A lot of students had a good time. Probably the largest amount of students I've seen at the homecoming which is good for this class as they fundraise for their, it's good for the junior class who profits from the dance to fundraise for the prom that's in April. Fall sports are wrapping up. Varsity girls, soccer senior goodbye is today, happening right now. Varsity girls volleyball, last game is today. So a lot of fall sports are coming to an end. A lot of sad seniors leaving their fall sports that they've been participating in for years, but excited to move on to college. Some upcoming events that are throughout the next couple of weeks is this Saturday, there's Little Italy in town, which we have some interactors volunteering at with the business associations through town. The high school blood drive is coming up with SAD Club. Freshman elections are also getting underway for the freshman officers for their class. In addition, Halloween in Hamlet is October 28th, which is another interact event that we volunteer at with the town with Miss Kate Jonitz, which is always a great night. And we see a lot of our community come out and go trick-or-treating and have a good time throughout our community. My last piece is sort of a question or just some curiosity as students have been approaching me, just a little curious on what's the plan with a new principal or assistant principal and what the timeline was. I know that Ms. Harris is leaving in December, so we were just curious, a lot of students are curious on what's the plan or the goal or when we will be receiving new administration. The hope is, I think Highland has been doing some great things with our education. We're talking about SUNY Ulster and SUNY New Paltz. We've been allowed to have so many credits that many students like Caitlin Paluzzi and Kirti Shenoy and Victoria Flom a year before, and some students this year, myself included, is that we have so many opportunities to get college credit that we have, by taking 1 or 2 more courses online or through the school, we can receive our associate's degree from SUNY Ulster when we also graduate high school. So that's a great opportunity that we allow in our school, and we hope to see those great values that we've become and made our school into, that we have sort of an upper hand on the surrounding communities. We hope that the new principal or assistant principal will take on those values that Highland embodies.
I know that one of the things, because we've had a few administrative openings come about, and as you can see, Mr. Bon Jovi is here at his first board meeting, really, that he's the sitting interim superintendent. So I think that's something they're going to really work on, and there may be an update here or there, but it's still mid-October.
Right, so Dean, and really to the board and the community. So when you have an opening like, very important opening, certainly high school principal. I always said high school principal, toughest job in the district. I did it, I know it's a tough job. So the posting just closed last week. So we are compiling the candidates. We will be putting together, we'll be reaching out to the union administration to put together a hiring committee or an interview committee. So I would say in the next, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, that those interviews probably will begin, so that we can have a candidate for the board to consider in either probably the second meeting in November, the latest.
If the students are wondering, I don't know if we put anything out, but maybe we could work with our PR folks and put out a statement to that effect. Sure. Or at least consider it.
Thank you.
Dean,
Business and
if I
operations.
may, thank you for bringing forward what you did about what you value, what students value that's happening in Highland High School, because it's one of the proudest things that I've been able to work on this past year.
I think it's a good reminder to all of us of those positive things that we need to make sure that we continue to focus on. So Dean, keep us on.
Business operations. Surplus vehicle bid award, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the interim superintendent, rescinds the bid award to Chapel Field Christian School for bus 129 in the amount of $6,151. Furthermore, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent, awards the 2003 Bluebird 66 passenger bus, bus number 129, to the next highest bidder, who is Juan Flores, in the amount of $1,659.
Second?
Heather, any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Hopefully we're done with it. External audit, correction plan. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the interim superintendent, approves the corrective action plan related to the external audit for the period ending June 30th, 2017. Motion. Mike?
Motion.
And Heather? Any discussion?
Just a comment, the corrective action plan is minimal at best, 2 items on there. We really had a very, very good report, and I credit Ms. Louise Lynch and her staff and other administrators, of course, but it really does highlight the business office. So very, very well done, nice job.
Yep, thank you. Agreed.
Thank you, Kristen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Certainly, I'd like to thank the faculty, staff, students, and the community for the very warm welcome and reception you've given me during my first week at Highlands. Really, from the moment, I said before, from the moment you walk into the buildings and just being around town, you can feel the family atmosphere. And that creates just such a great learning environment for students to learn and grow. So really, it's a testament to everyone here. I've been given walking tours of all the buildings. I've been to each building several times. Seen some great things, very impressive. Seeing some of the finished and unfinished items in the project. Tomorrow morning, I'm attending my second Highland Rotary meeting. So I got started right away last Wednesday. I went to the Rotary meeting. I was an active part of Rotary Port Jervis. So,
Meet early, what time do they meet?
7 a.m.
God bless you, Tom.
Gateway Diner. You want to come as a guest? So I know we have a very strong connection with our Rotary, and we have great interaction with Columbia High School. So just to keep that continuity going, I got right into it. This week I've been meeting with various leaders throughout the district, union members. I finished up the week. Deborah Habit's coming back Friday with Pete Miller and myself regarding the capital project. So that's when we'll get the update on the capital project. And just to say to faculty, staff, students, and the public, one of my mantras has always been, all communication is good communication, truly. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, call, email, stop in to see me. Because really, we want to always have that great connection with the community and the staff. So thank you. One other thing, I do want to thank the HSA is planning a Stuff the Bus event this weekend. That is on Saturday, November 11th at Hannaford's. They will be using one of our buses. We do have a driver or two who will volunteer to get the bus to and from Hannaford's. I think that's a great idea. It's a wonderful idea, it's a wonderful opportunity, and I do want to thank the staff who's willing to volunteer. Just want to kind of run that by the board, make sure the board is okay with that. Saturday? I did say this Saturday. It's not this Saturday, it's next Saturday, the 11th. Of November.
So still a little
Oh, excuse me, it's a little bit away. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. It's Saturday, November 11th, the local Hannaford. Yes, this is Stuff the Bus program for food
One more
items.
time to shop.
Yep. So just so you know that they will be using a bus. Yes.
Sarah?
The board members that are present have received a copy of the book that we're using for our district-wide book study. We had our first, well, we didn't have our first meeting talking about the book, but we had our first faculty meetings where people got to the groups that they're going to be meeting in all year. They read an article that I shared with the board on students in poverty. It was sort of an introduction, just a quick to set their norms for the group and decide how they want to conduct the discussions. We're using our instructional council members, who are our grade level coordinators and department chair people, to lead the discussions for each of the discussion groups. So at our instructional council meeting last Wednesday, we talked about part 1 of the book and the main questions that we would like to come out in the book discussions that will happen at the November faculty meeting. So we'll be using 4 faculty meetings throughout the year: November, January, March, and May faculty meetings, and then the instructional council meeting in between is when we're doing the preparation for it. So I was able to go to the high school faculty meeting today to sit in on some of the discussions, and it got off to a good start. And my understanding from the other 2 buildings is there was a pretty deep and rich conversation, and really a lot of, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, I hadn't thought about it this way before, or maybe I need to think about this before I do, whatever it might be. So it's off to a good start so far. We're including, the book study is all teachers and TAs and aides. We've had other people who have volunteered to be part of the book study as well. So we've, anyone that has wanted to be a part of that is absolutely included. Our October 6th half-day professional development day was a week ago Saturday. It went very well. I think I had mentioned that we did the poverty simulation that we had done with our teaching staff with our support staff that afternoon, and it was very well attended, and again, very successful from the perspective both of the people who were part of the simulation and those, or were families within the simulation, as well as those who were sitting at the tables acting as agencies. And we've already come up with some ideas for ways to spread information about what agencies have to offer. One of them is using Kathleen's newsletter, having a little box on the newsletter that just gives different important numbers that you can call to reach out to organizations. So I really feel that we're off to a good start with the book study, and I'm hearing very positive comments from members of the staff across the district. Love it.
Okay, education, new business. Does anybody have any issues they want to discuss? Okay, under old business, superintendent search. Still going on.
Yeah, their website has a good update on there. It's still open.
Is the survey still open for,
Dr. Corey told me he never actually
yeah, okay,
closed
so
it.
it's still open?
Yeah, it's still open. He said if he gets on and it seems like there's a lot more, he'll kind of update the survey results, but.
And the results were put on the webpage?
I have to look at that.
Did they put that? Because I
We
know
were
you
going to
asked about that last meeting, didn't you?
I'm not sure if we get the results.
I didn't get the results.
I
I
think
can follow up on that.
I think we got a chance to review the results and we communicated back.
But then we're gonna put them on for next year,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't receive them. I think.
Yeah, he was gonna redact
Yeah,
some
I didn't see
information.
Okay.
He has all your emails. Remember he asked for your emails? It was to send you something via email.
So we'll talk to Al
We'll reach
about
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
gonna send us.
There's a lot of good information.
No, I'm talking about the survey results.
Yeah, it's for the characteristics and those types of
Right,
things, yes.
right.
Good data.
Where to know? Number 2 on old business, Ulster County School Board Association meeting. Just want to remind members here that it's going to be October 26th at 6 p.m. at Ulster BOCES in New Paltz. And planning on attending, let Lisa know.
And it's
Yes.
on this?
Yes, I would.
Yep, so,
I don't know yet.
I'm not sure yet.
okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. Follow up.
I know,
That's fine, I'll follow up.
Shiloh's on, she saw me as well.
Is that the kickoff meeting? That's the
Kind of,
kickoff.
yeah.
I had a few others under old business. We did get did this come from you, Lisa, the follow-up from September 19th meeting? So there was a couple to-dos, and I don't know if we've received those, I don't think I have, but we were supposed to get the PowerPoint that Lou Rodriguez presented that night. Did we get
Emailed
that?
to us. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think we got that email
No,
to us.
that's not come to us.
So I have it in front of me. and I
What was the
don't see
date,
it.
Mike?
That came from, that was September 19th. A result of the board meeting, we were supposed to get some
Yeah, that
information.
PowerPoint.
I was also supposed to get a sketch of the weight room layout that I heard was readily available. Haven't seen that. I think, Tom, you did
Luke
get.
should also have that, you know.
Yes.
Right, Tom asked for an initial amount in capital project, I believe you got that in Lou's presentation, or was that a different number? Tom Miller asked for an initial amount of a capital project and what is remaining, so kind of like a balance.
I can get that information.
You didn't get that?
No.
So we got some to-dos here.
Do you want that from Palumbo? Did Palumbo provide that in that presentation?
No, I don't believe so. We didn't have a run of that.
I know I've been working on the number we have, but it would be very nice for me to reconcile that with the architect and the CM and for us to all be in the same place.
We'll take, we'll take a ballpark at
Okay.
this point, since it's October.
I can provide
Okay. We had talked about looking at our debt in the future. We know that some's gonna roll off.
them. Yep.
Why that's important is because the roofing work that we need to do will be its own bond. So we pulled out any roof repair work out of the current capital project because it would be more like patching than anything. So I think that was important, so we get a sense of what could we bond with no impact on the taxpayer.
That was matching to extend warranties.
Right,
That was.
right.
Okay, and so a couple others, I'm sorry. So there was, I just want to know if the Serini letter, we accepted the Serini donation, did we send them a letter of
We did
thank
not
you?
yet, but I have it.
I want to, when we do send it, the board can see a copy of that. I would also ask that these laptops that the board is using, and I would extend that to the board clerk as well, are past their useful life. Let's find some money and replace those. And then has there been any other conversation around the contract for construction management services for the 17-18 school year? So, I mean,
Tom, do you want to respond, or do you want me to respond?
Sure.
did you share this with Sarah, with administration also, or just the
No,
board?
that was, yeah.
So she keeps this to-do, I'm sorry to rapid fire this,
Not
the
at all.
board clerk keeps a to-do list.
Right.
And these are the last two meetings, so
Which
she
I think
shared
is
them with
what
us,
we
but I would
did,
share them
everybody.
with the
Yes.
superintendent
So-
also.
I'll send it to
So we
the-
can follow
the
up on that,
districts,
we're
Sarah
backed up a
and
little
Tom.
bit on a couple of items.
Right, so I'll be reviewing the capital project this Friday with Deborah and Pete, so I don't have really an answer about the capital project.
And if I can tag onto that, Deborah had said that we would have a support services, which is probably where we will start that roofing discussion and what option support services committee may support. We do have declining debt, and I can just tell you there'll be about 2 million dropping off and about 1.4 million going on. So there will be some flexibility there, but lining it all up. So I think the way we've historically done this is we would start with support services, have a conversation there, and then invite the community committee that we had in the past. I think that was her plan of how to move that forward. I don't know if that's.
We need our plan now.
Okay,
Do we have a date of the next support services committee meeting? Because I thought 2 weeks ago we said that's gotta happen FAST, so I'd get something on that.
I think once Tom and Deborah meet and he gets up to speed, we'll set a date Friday.
When was that 2 million? Potentially
In the 19, not in this budget year, in the 19-20 year. So now, we've talked about that all along because we have new debt coming on, but it will still be a dip, it will still drop once it happens. And we have one tough year where we'll have both, the old debt and some of the new debt, which is why we've saved some of the debt service and some of that other money. Correct? Yeah.
So just want to clarify, did we make the last payment on the Palumbo contract?
We did not yet.
I didn't think so.
And there is another issue, but it's,
I understand, and
we'll
it's
give you an
contract,
update on
so
all of
we'll
that
be
together.
Very good.
We're gonna have that, depending on when that represent the roof project, for another year, we're kind of in limbo on the roofs.
That's down the road anyway,
Something to think
I'm
about.
aware of that. All I know with the roofs is there was some work in the capital project. We pulled that out on purpose.
And again, that was to extend warranties.
Yeah, but I think that the conversation was deeper than that.
Yeah.
So we talked about really coming up with a roof project with as minimal impact to the taxpayers as possible. That's the discussion. We don't have a lot of detail on that.
Well, and since we're talking so in depth about all that, in my opinion, the other item that I didn't hear tonight is we also have some alternates that we've not awarded that maybe we don't want to award, or maybe we do want to. I don't know. There was a time where we were talking about lockers or SED lighting, and we thought we needed to pick one. We didn't pick either. So that also remains on that list.
But that was a big part of Lou Rodriguez's PowerPoint that we didn't get, so we need that, because on there was very clear what's in, what's out, and what's left to decide upon. So without that data,
We'll get that. We'll get all of that, yeah.
It's not that.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, I think that was miscellaneous.
That was, all good. Public comments.
My name's Mike Petty. I have 3 children in the school district, 1 in the high school, 2 in the middle school. And I'm here tonight to appeal to the board to try to add a winter track program to our varsity JV programs. Marlboro and New Paltz both offer a winter track program. We do not. Our spring track program is very successful, and a winter track program would probably involve somewhere between 30 and 50 students. It would give them something to do after school in those areas where kids can get in trouble. And I just think it would be a worthwhile program for the school to invest in. So, again, I'm just here to appeal to the board to see what we can do to have it happen for this coming winter season. Our athletic offerings are limited in the wintertime. We have basketball, wrestling, swimming, and bowling. So for the kids who don't participate in those sports, that are trying to get into shape for spring sports like baseball, lacrosse, it's a great opportunity and something for them to participate in the winter season.
You said 30 to 50 students?
Yeah, it could even be more. It depends on, we have a strong cross-country program, we have a strong soccer program, the football program. With the limited numbers in basketball, wrestling, bowling, and swimming, there's a lot of kids who don't have anything to do in the wintertime.
Is that reaching down into the middle school?
If kids were gonna test up, so they'd have to take the selective test, but, I think conservative numbers would be between 30 and 50 kids that would participate.
Is that what we have for the spring?
No, our numbers are much higher for the
Other more
spring.
than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you'd have some students who would be doing basketball
Right.
and wrestling who wouldn't do, but, my daughter did that at New Paltz last year, and they probably had about 30, between boys and girls, probably 30, 35 Their meets are on Fridays and Saturdays at West Point.
West Point.
She enjoyed it.
We have to draw up a budget.
Yeah.
Well, usually it starts with our athletic director and some internal discussions, and then it comes to us, but thank you for bringing it to our attention. We'll make sure that those discussions are had. And,
Okay, great.
part of it is internal facility for practices, I know that.
I think what they do in Marlboro and New Paltz is, as long as there's not snow on the ground, they use the regular track for training. And then if there's snow on the ground and the parking lots are plowed, they use the parking lots to train, so.
Just gonna reach backwards a little bit here. Heather, when you were in school, was there any winter track programs?
We're going way back now.
I'm just trying to, I don't remember.
Yeah, I grew up on the other side of the river, and Arlington, John Jay, Ketchum, they've always had, like, since, the 1980s, they've had a winter track program. So.
I've heard student interest about a winter track program also. One student approached me, but I asked her to maybe discuss more with the principals first and then get back to me. But I've also heard some student interest in having the ability to partake in track during the winter, maybe even for school. Sometimes we have
Middle
students.
school's got intramurals, so they've got some action all throughout.
Right,
here, but-
and I've spoken to Frank about putting forward the program, and he said he was going to, and I don't know what the delay's been in that.
The first we've heard.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, yeah. Time to finish your work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay, anything else for the good and welfare of the district from the public? Okay, motion to adjourn.
No exec, right?
No exec.
Do it. Second. Heather was first, Mike second. To adjourn.
It's always nice, right?
Yeah. Never happened.
I know.